Welcome to the demo of TLORES. Today I will show you how to create an account for TLORES, how to configure it to ingest records and link them to entities. First, click Create Account. Either enter an email address and password or click Sign up with Google. If you sign up via email, a confirmation code is sent to your email address. The first thing to do when creating a new account is to set up an instance. An instance is like an environment or a database where all configuration is stored and the data is ingested and matched. Enter an instance name like demo instance and click deploy. The deploy will roughly take 5 minutes. Now the instance is up and running and can be used. First we configure a data schema. You can either use the provided one, extend it to your needs, or you can also use a more complex one, which we provide in the documentation, which is just linked below the video. I add the demo configuration here, save it, and then create the rules. The rules link the records to entities. The initial configuration provides the basic rule set, but we also want to update it with the more complex configuration from the documentation. After adding the rules, we have to save them. To see if the rules match to records, the rule simulator is used. We add the same record into both text boxes and click Simulate. We see which rules would match and which rules would not match. Now if you change the last name for the example record and click Simulate again, then we will see that now some of the rules that matched before, because the records were the same, now don't match anymore. This rule simulation is here so that you can simulate the rules and the behavior before you have to deploy, as the deploy usually takes 5 minutes. After simulating the rules, we create API credentials. This screen shows the GraphQL API URL, the token URL, and the Create New Credentials screen. The client secret is only shown once to stay secret. Let's move to the advanced settings. Here we can control the state of the instance. To deploy the changes of the schema and rules, click Redeploy. During redeploy, your instance is still processing search requests, and you can also ingest records. As TLORES uses serverless technologies, it doesn't have any downtimes. As soon as the redeployment is done, the instance is back in ready state. To show how the matching is working, we will ingest some records using the ingest data screen. The same is also possible using the GraphQL API. Please download the files from the documentation before continuing. Drop the first file, ingest01.json line, into the upload area and click Ingest Data. The file is uploaded and processed. To search for the record and its entity, we open the Search Entity screen. The search parameters are defined by the schema. We add the data of the ingest01 JSON line file into the search parameters and click Search. The red dot that we now see represents the ingested record and also the newly created entity. When clicking the dot, the information about the record is shown. The data view displays all information about entity, its records, edges, and duplicates. Next, the ingest02 duplicate JSON line file is uploaded. In the data view, we now see 2 records and 1 duplicate. The ingest03 moves.json line is uploaded. This file contains 2 records in 1 line. The 2 records are linked by a static link. This usually happens if a person moves from A to B. The data view now shows a static edge. This is the link between the 2 ingested records. Also, another duplicate is created. The graph view shows 1 record, the yellow one, 2 duplicates, and the red record that is connected via a static link to the other records. The ingest04 moves JSON line file is uploaded, and in the search entities view, we switch to the JSON editor, which is quite useful when doing many searches with similar criteria. The graph view now shows that 2 additional records were ingested and also a new duplicate was created. Ingest05 geo.json line adds a new record with the same name but different address, far away from the other records. So it is now not matched to this entity and also not shown in the graph view. To find the new record, we add the ID in the search. Now the graph view shows 2 pages. This means that 2 entities were found. On the first page, we see the entity that we already know, and on the second page, we see the newly created entity from file 5. To connect both entities, we upload the file ingest06 connect to entities JSON line. When searching again, we see that both entities are now connected. The data view shows an edge that connects two records using the geomatching rule using geocoordinates. In the last step, the file relogspig.json line with many records is uploaded. When searching again, we now see a big graph of linked records. To see the complete entity, we have to zoom out. You can use your mouse for that. In this video, you learned how to set up a TLOS instance, how to deploy a schema and rules, and how to ingest records and search for entities. Thank you for watching.